Welcome to What's Up With That, a podcast 2. The podcast where we explore the intriguing intersections of theology, politics, religion, and the church. Whether you're a seasoned believer or just God curious, join us as we seek to understand the complexities of faith in today's world and ask, what's up with that? Let's get started. How you doing, Simone?
I'm doing great.
Good. Come on in, and this is your seat just for you. How are you? And I failed to mention that our guest for today is Mrs. Simone Talma Flowers, Executive Director of Interfaith Action of Central Texas, better known in the Austin community as iACT. Again, Simone, welcome.
It is good to be here.
Fantastic. I've been dreaming about this for a long time. You know that? And you know what? We talked about you a couple of weeks ago.
You did?
We did. We had a special
I hope
guest.
it's all good things.
Well, now, how do you classify good? No, it was all fantastic. It was your buddy, the Reverend Dr. Dale Horton. So nothing but good stuff.
One of my favorite people.
One of your favorite people. What I want to start, we want to go ahead and get started. And while we are glad that you are here this evening, as Executive Director of iACT, in your own words, tell us what exactly is iACT?
Well, iACT, Interfaith Action of Central Texas, we are about bringing people in proximity of each other.
Okay.
So that what that means is that, you know, we belong to so many different faiths and cultures and worldviews and backgrounds that sometimes it's hard to be in a space with someone who is different. So we say, it's okay, come on, let's meet somebody who is different from you, somebody from the Muslim faith, from the Jewish faith, from the Buddhist faith, from the Baha'i faith, from the Hindu faith. And even if you don't have any particular religious affiliation, we're like, come on, come together. Let's see the humanity in each other. And how we do that, I mean, we have a multitude of platforms that we do, you know, but service is the main thing. Because when you're doing something good to support someone in the community, you know, there's lots of goodness happening. So we do housing repairs, we work with refugees teaching English language instruction. And then we also do these conversations called Red Bench conversations, where we bring people to be in dialogue with each other. And then one of another favorite of mine is what we call the Passport program, where we visit different congregations and just be a guest. I'm
going to ask you more about that in just a few minutes. So what we can say is that as we look at iACT, you talked about the many faith traditions. So it's a place where where persons of different faiths can come together and just share. Is that right?
It's about building understanding. And it's about building understanding of each other. And it's about, you know, we have all these stereotypes, these myths about each other. And we're like, you know, let's put those aside and let's get to know each other and build understanding and see the humanity in each other. And when I say proximity, it's a word where it places you next to someone where you can look into their eyes and be in their presence. And that's what our work is, bringing people in proximity of each other. Because when you're in proximity of each other, the dynamics change. And for us, it's like, how do we create spaces where we can build connections?
So it's much also like I want to get to know you, but if I really want to get to know you, I need to spend some time with you. So you provide those spaces and places where that can happen.
Yes.
Okay, one of those places, and you mentioned hands-on housing. That's one of my favorites, right? As former chaplain at Houston Tillotson, we used to have our students engage in hands-on housing. Can you just share more specifically who are the recipients of hands-on housing, and how do faith traditions and persons of different background come together in that space?
Well, hands-on housing is a flagship program of iACT, and it was our first program. So, iACT can trace our roots back to the 1940s.
Wow.
When some local pastors came together.
Okay.
And it was like they can feel the effects after the 1928 plan of the city of Austin. And part of it was like, how can we show that we care about our community?
Okay.
So many of these pastors belonged to what was called the Austin Conference of Churches.
I remember that.
And then there was another one called Metro Ministries.
Right.
And they worked informally throughout the years.
Mm-hmm.
And they realized the main way to open people's hearts and minds to each other is through that act of service.
Okay.
So both organizations dissolved and created what we call iACT today.
Okay.
But back then it was called Austin Metropolitan Ministries, and then it was called Austin Area Interreligious Ministries, and then of course now it's iACT. But we work with homeowners, low-income homeowners, or people who have disabilities who are unable to do major repairs to their home. So we bring in volunteers from all these different congregations and organizations and individuals too, to work alongside each other with that common goal of supporting this homeowner to make their home safe.
Right.
And a lot of times it's about painting and beautifying the home.
Right.
But the work is really substantial, because we all know in the core of our being that having a safe home to live in, that crosses all cultures, faiths, backgrounds, whatever. We all know the necessity to have a safe place to live in.
Okay. That's awesome. Our students got so excited. They enjoyed working with others and meeting others on several occasions. I think one of the greatest joys was when we were able to get enough students and almost have a house that we could do, just the HT students. And the reward of actually meeting the recipients of the gift of repairing was phenomenal. Just in terms, we can talk about the impact that it has on community, but the impact that it had on students to know that they were giving back to someone and can actually see the gratitude from the person who is a recipient of that kind of gift.
Yeah.
And I do think that what you offer through that program is a gift to the community.
I have goosebumps, because I have so many stories of women, elderly, widows, grandmoms, talking about how and we serve a lot of women and men too. But I remember one woman telling us it was one of the most beautiful things that she has had in her backyard. She lived in a house for like 30-something years, and she just didn't, with all these volunteers coming together, and they were in her backyard, and they were repairing her home. And she's like, for me, they were doing this for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. To believe.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful sight to see it and to participate in and to witness,
Okay. But you also, in that quest, in that job of repairing, you do more than just painting, right? You actually do some real stuff, repairing sidings. I mean, some actually almost construction kinds of things, right? I mean, you go all in terms of repair.
So our goal is to let people age in place. age in the homes and communities they know and love. In Austin, affordability is a big issue,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And for us, it's like, what can we do to make sure someone can live in their home for as long as they live?
Okay.
And that means, making sure the flooring is level, leveling off whatever needs to be leveled,
Right.
pull up carpet, make sure there's no trip hazards. If we need to get a ramp in or to fix the bathroom so that it can be more accessible.
Right.
Put in grab bars because the towel rack is not a grab bar, right?
Okay.
So all these different things that we do to just make sure the home is safe and healthy. So those are things that we come in and so there's a lot of renovations that we do to make all about accessibility and all about safety
Okay.
to the home and making it healthy.
Okay, that's awesome. It's amazing and it's absolutely rewarding. One of your biggest programs, I believe, is the refugee program. When you talk about refugees, who are these refugees? Where do they come from?
So refugees are people who are legally here in the U.S. They are fleeing some form of political, religious persecution, socioeconomic. They're fleeing something. Home is no longer safe for them to be there.
Right.
So they go through a process and they come here to the U.S. and different cities, and this all goes through the Office of Refugee Resettlement, which is a federal agency.
Okay.
So different states, can bring in different refugees.
Right, from different areas of the world.
Right, and so like we have a lot of people from Afghanistan.
Okay.
So we serve a lot of people from Afghanistan right now. You have people from Congo. We were serving like Cubans, Haitians. So it depends on the political Ukrainians. On what's happening politically.
Okay.
That it depends on how what refugees come. Syrians, and we have Burmese. I mean, we have so many different people that we serve, and what we do is that we teach English language instruction.
Okay.
And the thing is we have this honor and privilege of working with people who come here for a better life, right? To give their kids opportunities, to make sure they're safe. I cannot imagine what it's like to feel unsafe in your home, right?
Okay. Yes.
And here it is, because we take it for granted. I mean, we turn on the pipe, there's water, we turn on the light, there's light comes in. We open the door and, we expect to be safe in our area, or to let your child go outside and play.
We expect stuff to work when we hit it to turn it on.
So having that, when refugees come here and they get that consistency, it is like people can finally breathe and let their shoulders relax.
Yeah.
And the kids can go to school and not have to worry about anything. And we get to be part of this new beginning and help lay this foundation so that people can go out and achieve their dreams, literally, and have some stability so that their kids can thrive. And we get to support that.
Okay. So then the work is important because of those very reasons, all that you've just stated. And you've had some wonderful successes. And some even come back to work for iACT, right? There's a wonderful young man, I believe, within the last year or so, he spoke at a Night Under One Sky, I believe. I won't say he's one of my favorites, but he is, right? But so tell us, he's there, and also there was a recipient who also went to college. I believe part of what you do is to help them attain their education. So tell us about one or two successes of some of these refugees that come here that engage with iACT and are able to really, when you say to reach their dreams, what does that mean?
Right.
As we look at maybe going to college, maybe it's, what does that mean? And
Right.
so can you share?
You know, like, for example, one of the employees that you're talking about right now, he had this dream of, doing computer science.
Okay.
So his first job as a IT support person is with iACT.
Ha ha ha.
Right? And then we have this young girl. Well, she came here to the US as a young girl. And we get to support her finishing her nursing degree at UT.
Okay.
But part of it is believing in people, giving people support. One person who's also dear to my heart, and we just recently lost him, is Dr. Qusay Hussein.
Yes.
He is someone who came from Iraq, and he came here as a blind student, and he was our first blind student that we worked with, and then he had a dream to become a doctor, and we supported him with through finishing at iACT, and then with the School for the Blind, and then he went off to ACC, and then after ACC, UT School of Social Work, and then he just graduated
didn't stop.
in May with a PhD.
And the amazing thing is, and we talk about reaching a dream, right? He had a dream.
He had a dream.
And while he was blind, I think that's one who also had cancer, is that right?
Yeah,
And just as he achieved his dream, I'm going to say God called him, right? But in the midst of all of that, through the work of iACT, he was able to achieve that and realize his dream before his departure.
Right. And and we get to be part of these beautiful stories.
Yeah.
And and realize that we are one piece of this whole network, this whole community supporting people. And I say this because everything that we do is about people. And it's about people supporting people.
Right.
It's about communities of communities.
Right. You have, let's say, what I'm trying to say is when we look at people hurting, that one common thing that we have amongst the various faith traditions is a caring spirit, an understanding for the need to be, I'm going to say, my brother's, my sister's keeper, to be there in those moments when people cannot help themselves. I should know it. Forgive me. Don't beat me up later. But the slogan, the mantra, coming together for a common.
People of all faiths doing good together.
People of all faiths doing good
That's
together.
our slogan.
People
yes.
of all faiths. And that's something when we talk about doing good, touching the lives of others.
Right.
That's
I am a strong believer that when you meet someone, you gotta take a breath and be present with them. Okay? Because in this busy space that we live in, it's really easy to go on to the next thing. And just take that deep breath, be present, and see them for who they are.
And you might be amazed because that very person that you didn't understand might become one of your best friends. Right? Daryl, Reverend Horton, when he was here, shared his experience with Rabbi Blumoff. And that happened through their experience with iACT, right? While iACT has, but I want to go there first. That's where I want to go. You have a couple of programs. We talked about the refugee program, hands-on housing. That's people doing service together, right?
And financial literacy.
Okay.
That's our newest program.
Okay.
And part of that too was, and I would say iACT is really good with bringing people together with diversity.
Okay.
And we're really, really good with that. And when George Floyd was murdered, we had to look at ourselves again and say, what are some things that we can do to really help with this wealth gap? Because we work with so many people who are impoverished.
Right.
And what are some opportunities that we can share with families so that we can break the cycle of poverty?
Right.
So we started, this is our second year. We just completed our second year doing financial literacy for young people. And we hope to move to their parents, their adults with it. And with that, every student that graduates, they will get $1,000. And that is put into a long-term investment for 10 years. And then they will get it. And it could be, they could apply it to school or a house or whatever they need at that time.
Okay, so those are service aspects. I know of two programs, and you've mentioned, you casually mentioned them, the Red Bench and the Passport program. Can you talk a little bit more about those, and what do those do for us, for those who share, right? As we look at the Passport and what you might experience, as we look at the Red Bench and what that is, because that's something very, very different from the service aspect.
Exactly. So for us, it's about meeting people where they are. So like the service programs that we have is very hands-on. You know, you have a specific goal,
right?
You know, and it's to support someone. So that's in a way that's real tangible. So the Red Bench is about conversation.
Okay.
It's about learning and building skills, building muscle to engage in courageous conversations with someone.
Building skills, building muscle.
Yeah, because it's a muscle that you build. Because part of it is learning to listen.
Okay.
Because a lot of times when we engage in conversation with someone, we may be thinking about how we're going to respond to them.
Right.
And how we set up this Red Bench conversation is very structured, but it's a way where everyone at this table, we usually have like a round table,
right?
Maybe 8 people at a table, and we have a table host who participates in the conversation, but they kind of guide the conversation. They kind of hold that space so that, you know, everyone would be able to engage. And we usually we'll have a topic, and it'll be like a universal virtue. Like this month is community, and September is community, and then later on in the fall, joy.
So the actual topics then that would be important to humanity, regardless of your faith tradition.
Exactly.
Is that I mean,
anyone.
So we're not keying in on, this is Islam this month. It's issues and topics that are relevant to humanity.
Exactly.
If you're human, this is important to you.
Right. Yes. Anyone can understand.
Right.
No matter your background.
Okay.
And you don't even have to have you don't have to be an expert in the topic.
Right.
You just come as you are, and you share from your lived experiences.
Okay.
And what we do at the Red Bench is we ask you to speak from your heart about what has true meaning to you. We don't want you coming quoting statistics or anything like that, because for us it's like, get out of your head into your heart, because we can be in our head all day long and not make a connection with someone.
Right.
But we were like, bring it down to your heart and let's connect. And when we connect at the heart, our eyes open and we see things differently.
And in that, while the stone is a key piece, allowing individuals to express themselves without interruption, there is an opportunity around that table to then ask questions. It might be for clarity, it might be for better understanding, but there's opportunity to engage in the kind of sharing, not only where you can hear the other voices, truly listening to the hearts of others, which gains an understanding and an appreciation for, but it's also an opportunity to really be able to ask questions that will help you to better understand. And that opportunity is there. And it's so structured that it's done in a very civil and welcomed, and I'm going to say almost warm kind of way.
Yeah. So the structure is very important. And as you mentioned, like with the stone, so there's a talking piece.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever holds the stone, and we took that from indigenous people.
Okay.
That the talking piece. So whoever has this talking piece is the only person that speaks.
Right.
And we go around. We have like the first round is what we call the introductory round. You just share your name and your favorite tradition or what woke you up this morning. And then the second round is like, what is your life experience? So faith teaches you about the particular topic that we're going to be talking about.
Okay.
And only one person speaks at a time, right?
Okay.
Whoever holds that talking stone. And then in the third round, we call it's a spirited dialogue, where we put the stone down, and this is where you can talk back and forth with each other, ask the questions, what have you. And then we stay in that space for a long time, about 30 minutes. And then we close in the fourth round, and we say, bring the conversation to a satisfying close. So in that structure, it's so focused, and you're just sharing from your own lived experience. It's really hard to tell someone that they're wrong when they share from their lived experience.
And that's what becomes important, right? That's often what perhaps marginalized communities say. I can hear the voice of dominant culture, and sometimes they don't seem to get it, but they don't understand that we come from our lived experience. So my lived experience is not like your lived experience.
Exactly.
Right? And so there's going to be some different nuances there that's going to change the dynamics for me.
Right. And to think that there may be 8 people around that table, and 8 people come with their own lived experiences, and you're hearing, say for example, the topic is gratitude. You're hearing all these different aspects of what gratitude means to someone.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I never thought gratitude could mean that.
Yeah.
So it just opens up the mind and heart to other possibilities.
Okay. And that's important. That's important. How about the passport? Can you share about the passport? Because that also is an opportunity, if you are willing and open, and a wonderful opportunity for real growth.
So, well, I say this about every program, but the passport is like my favorite program, okay?
Say, all of them are really my favorite program, okay?
This one, oh my gosh, it takes me all over the city, all over Central Texas, because what we do, so every year we have, for this passport program, we pick 12 destinations, and it always, the 12th one always culminates in our Interfaith Day of Thanks, which is November. So the passport program starts from December till November.
Okay.
And every month we visit a different congregation. Buddhist temple, Hindu temple, Jewish synagogue, Muslim mosque, different Christian communities.
You came to HT Chapel when
Yes.
the year I retired. You came to HT Chapel,
Yes,
right?
we had our Interfaith Day of Thanks, the culmination of the passport program there.
Yeah.
So we go to the Baptist, Episcopal, Methodist, Lutheran, Seventh-day Adventist, Pentecostal, Church of Christ, all these different groups and more. And part of it too is we go as guests. Right? And we have a little passport that we stamp. Every time you go, you get your passport stamp. And the goal is to attend as many of these visits as possible. So by the time we get to the Day of Thanks, your passport would be fully stamped.
Okay.
And what we do for this passport program, we attend a service, but half hour before the service, we ask the imam or the rabbi or the priest or the venerable or the guru
Right.
or the pastor, the reverend, whatever the
leadership is.
the leadership is, the faith leader is,
Right.
to come to meet with us. Tell us about the faith. Tell us about the congregation. Tell us why this space is so important, and what to expect during the service.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a little Q&A, and then we are ushered into the service.
Right.
And we attend, and we are guests.
Right.
And we get to experience what it is like to be in this space.
Right.
And we say, come, let's go together, so you don't have to be by yourself.
Right.
We'll all come learn together.
Mm-hmm.
And we do this every month to a different place. And the joy, I've learned so much. I've met so many different communities. And I think what is so amazing, so
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, is that when you go into a community,
Mm-hmm.
people are so proud of who they are and their community. And you get to feel that joy, feel that excitement, feel it. And that's the power
Mm-hmm.
about going into other people's spaces and experiencing it
And sharing.
and sharing. And that opens up minds and hearts to each other.
Yeah.
So again, it's just another way of being in proximity of each other.
And truly experiencing one another.
Exactly.
And you know what? Folk like that passport. I think there was one you'd asked me to share. I think you were not able to be there, and I didn't know what to do when a couple of folks said, "Well," and they hadn't arrived yet, right? Well, do you have any more passports? I need a new passport. I'm not sure, but it was interesting because there are those who, for them, that's their way of learning and appreciating, and they also want to see that record of where they've been,
Right.
and so that becomes very important to them. So that passport is it may sound crazy to some, but it has value
Absolutely.
for those who actually go and share.
Right. Someone told me it's like experiential religion 101. I was like,
Okay.
yes, that sounds good.
Okay.
I'll
That's
take
awesome.
that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. As interesting as iACT is, your involvement with it, to me, is equally as interesting. When you started iACT, you started as a volunteer. Did you have any intent when you started as a volunteer to one day lead this organization called iACT?
When I started volunteering at iACT, the director at the time was Emily Whitehurst, and I will always be indebted to her for this. Because I remember I was at a crossroads in my life, and I was just, my husband was like, have some volunteer opportunities. Just check out some different places.
Right.
And it was a way of me learning about different groups. But I remember I met with Emily, and we talked about how Austin was such an international city. And this was back in 2005, right?
Okay.
And we were at last minutes on Congress, and we had it was an early breakfast.
Okay.
So we were there and we were talking about how international Austin is, but we haven't fully embraced how international it is.
Right.
Because, we still don't move here, please. We still say that in Austin, right? But, so one of the things was and me, I've always had a passion for seeing the beauty in people.
Okay.
And here it is, iACT works with all these different communities that want to do good.
Right.
And then for me, it's I love my diversity. I love, how do we bring people in?
Okay.
And it's okay, people who want to do good and diversity. It's oh my gosh, it was like that aha moment. Oh, I think I found my place.
Okay.
And I started volunteering with iACT full time. And it was like, Emily, okay, you go outside, you be the face of the organization. I can handle everything inside, you know?
Okay.
So that's what I was doing. I was volunteering, supporting iACT. And then the next year I came on as, I operations person. I did whatever was needed. I was
You were doing.
But it was to support everyone in their role.
Okay.
Because I can do that. I can support others, lift them up. Because that's what it's all about. Giving people the tools and the skills and the resources that they need so they can share their best selves.
Okay.
And that's another thing too. I have a strong belief that we are in this world to support each other. Okay. I mean, period.
That does make for a better world, doesn't it?
Right? And we use our gifts and talents not just to better ourselves, but to better others. Okay? And we have to give back.
Okay.
And so for me too, one of the most powerful experiences at iACT is that spirit of generosity that I have experienced with so many different people.
Okay. So then I just had a question that was at what moment, when did you become aware that this was your passion? And it sounds like maybe there were a lot of moments that just sort of build up.
So I've always had a passion for working with people.
Okay.
I mean, this goes back from coming from the Caribbean. I grew up in Trinidad and Tobago, and I came here as a foreign student to attend St. Edward's University.
Okay.
And in Trinidad, you can't get through the day without interacting with someone who's different. So you learn how to interact with people who are different. It's just part of life, right? Okay. And you learn to respect people's cultures and foods. Food is a great gateway into connecting with others, okay?
Yes.
Food and music. So one thing that I always remember when I think about my family, I'm the youngest of 5 children. The main picture that comes to mind immediately is Diwali.
Okay.
And Diwali is the Hindu festival of lights.
Okay.
So in Trinidad, we have about half of our population is East Indian. So Hinduism and even Islam is very popular in Trinidad, right? Okay. We have a significant population who have diverse faiths.
Right.
So anyway, our family would my parents would pack us all in the station wagon. And as the last child, my seat was always between my dad and my mom in front because it's like a bench seat.
Okay.
But I had a vantage view of things. I got to see the full display of all the diyas, which is like the little clay pots with the little wick and the lights. And it would be on these sculptures made out of bamboo. So when you cut bamboo, because bamboo is plentiful in Trinidad, when you split it, it has these grooves. So they put these little diyas on these grooves and they make all these elaborate sculptures. Okay. And at night, when you're driving and you see all this light and all these different shapes, it's one of the most beautiful sights you'll ever see.
Wow.
And that's what I remember.
I want to go to Trinidad.
Yeah, so I mean, like, my joy is intertwined with different cultures and the beauty, and I get to see the beauty of others.
Awesome.
And what they offer to this world.
Okay, that's amazing. iACT has been around a while. It has not been, and that's appropriate, right? What it is today. Under your leadership, you've had new programs, and those programs are still developing. Just listening to you, when you were volunteering, there weren't many around. You have significant staff now. Along with significant staff, your budget has grown. Your budget has grown immensely. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it comes back to community, right? it's building up and building on what has started. So we have so many people who have come before me.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when I think of the first director of iACT, Pat Flood, and what he built, and then after that was Susan Wills, and then after that was Emily Whitehurst. And I think before Emily, Donna Howard was also like an interim. Mm-hmm. And then Emily, and then after Emily, Tom Spencer. Yeah. And then I came. So I got to witness many of these leaders.
Okay.
But I got to work under Emily and work under Tom. And we had lots of dreams and things that started, and then we may have had to put it aside for priority, budgetary reasons. But we had dreams of what the possibilities are. So I feel as though I've been building up on those. And it's like, you know, we believe in humanity. And so for me, it's a continuation of things that have started.
Okay.
And just, you know, and with a lot of different people coming in, mm-hmm. sharing support. And I tell you what, nothing is more impactful than having support. People who believe in you, believe in the mission, believe in the organization, believe in the people to support. And we see a future together. I mean, that's the only reason why we're here. It's community. It is community. And I say that because it could not have been done without everybody's involvement. Right. Okay?
Exactly. You come with a skill, though. You come with a gift. And understanding that. I'm going to see if I can mix this up right. You're very humble. Very humble. When I talk about you in the presence of others, you're quickly to say, Reverend Brington, it's all of us. It's all of us, right? And you almost put your head down like, don't talk about me. It's all of us. It's all of us. You have a very humble spirit. In the midst of all of that, and when I do that, it's understanding that we all do it together. But this massive work that iACT is now cannot have been done, and we must always remember and honor the shoulders on whom we stand. It's been a season, and you have put in some work. You've done the hard work, and I like to say, I believe it's okay to be acknowledged for the tremendous work that you've put forth. You are, in your humility, you're soft-spoken. You're oftentimes not seen. You sort of blend in and will do the work. And it's wonderful, right? There's so often those who will shout it on off the rooftops, right? Almost shouting it when they walk in the room. You don't do that, right? But if you go to iACT, if you visit some of the programs, you witness the work that is being done and the success. And then you understand, how are you doing all of this? Somewhere you're getting the money, right? And your budget is the kind of budget as a result of significant work being done. I mean, you have significant staff. The program's $1,000 to every refugee student who comes to the program. That's a budget. I don't want to say the budget. You can share the budget, but that's a significant budget. do the work. And I think every now and then, as we talk about the work, and as we talk about the us who make it happen, sometimes we need to share the who that sits behind the wheel. And that's you. And so then I'm going to ask, how do you, in the midst of all of that, and I feel that needs to be said, right? Who is Simone who blends in? Let's really take a look. And if we really understand, we know who she is. In the midst of all of that, how do you maintain your humility?
Well, as I said, first of all, thank you. And thank you for saying that. And for me, it's the reality that I cannot do anything by myself.
Okay.
I mean, literally. And I thank God who guides me. But I mean, we have people who are experts in their field. And we bring them in and they do the work. So it's creating that environment where people can thrive, right? And do well and share the compassion with each other. So one thing too about me, I am the kid that didn't want, I like being spoiled, but at the same time, don't spoil me too much because I'm going to get too accustomed to it and I forget that, I do need to get up and go to school, or I need to get up and go to work. So it's like always staying connected to source for me is really important because
when you say stay connected to source, what do you mean?
So source, staying connected to God and seeing God's face in everybody that I work with, and staying connected with the why we do the work we do, and why I do the work I do. And for me to be too separated from that, I lose focus.
Okay.
So when you talk about humility, is a necessity.
Okay.
It's a necessity for me to keep having my pulse on things.
Okay.
And on me. Because I remember, and I'll use this because my mom, precious soul, when I would go back to Trinidad for vacation when I was in school, she would love to do my laundry for me and or even like as an adult too. I was like, Mommy, okay, thank you for spoiling me, but I can't get too accustomed to it because I have to go back and do it, and I'm not going to want to do it.
Right.
So it's also that, yes, I do pamper myself, I do take care of myself, I do a lot of meditation to calm, to center myself, and like got back into doing art as another way of connection. But the work that we do requires humility.
Okay.
Requires humility. Requires.
Okay.
The ability to connect with others. I can't feel as, as I said, it's a necessity for this work.
You said to stay humble. And part of that is remembering why you do what you do. Why do you do what you do?
I believe, our days are numbered, right? We're given gifts. And our gifts and talents to me is revealed in our interactions and in the doing of the work also. So it brings me immense joy to see connections and to see how when bringing people together and to see their transformation too. I tell you what, it's like, I don't do it in front of them, but I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, really happy to see barriers break down in front of your eyes.
Okay.
And a lot of times too, it's utilizing people who may know someone to make that introduction.
Okay.
So it's like, how do we leverage our relationships with each other to bring others in?
Okay.
And humility. I am not always the best person to develop that relationship, but I can ask someone to help me, to help make that connection. So asking, I think this work also, again, back to the humility, because I'm forever asking for help, for assistance, because we need a lot of people involved to do this work. And the spirit of generosity, where when I see the generosity that we get to witness and displayed,
right,
it keeps me humble, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to aspire to that generosity.
Okay. That'd be a wonderful place to stop. I'm going to ask another question. In all that you do, iACT is a nonprofit. It depends on the benevolence of community. It depends on other funding sources that oftentimes you dig for and you find, right? There's the programming. There's so many aspects of what iACT is. It's a staff that you've got to try to be sure that they're okay. What is it that keeps you up at night?
One thing for me, I feel a lot. I can assess a lot.
Okay.
And so for me, it is making, and I guess I'm a natural caretaker too, in the sense that, I it's like family, you want to make sure we're taken care of, and the people that we serve are taken care of too. And we have this amazing honor and privilege to get to do this work. So you want to be able to have the resources to be able to continue doing the work, because it's such a gift, right? And once we keep that reminding that, it's just, life is fleeting. People come, people go, but when they're with us, our role is to take care of them, support them, so that they can be on their journey. Okay. And remembering that. And that goes with staff too, because people come and they're here for a season, and they need us just as much as we need them. Yeah. And we building each other up, and they build us up to a point where we need to be, and then they need to go on to their next journey too. So it's like looking at that aspect of life is like always that flow, right? Okay. And I mean, it's precious. It's amazing that we get to, and I personally just feel really privileged that I get to meet some amazing people. Amazing. And when I say amazing, I mean like nothing. I love nothing more than a spirit of generosity. Okay. And when I say that, not, when people share their wisdom, share their talents, share their gifts, share their time, share their resources, I mean, that helps the flow,
Okay.
helps lift us all. And for me, that's the power of life, because you know what? Again, and I said it earlier on, we are here just to support each other,
Okay.
to help each other on this journey of life. And the faster we can recognize that, the better off we'll be. Okay?
And it's wonderful when we can do it. As people come together, what's the mantra again?
People of all faiths doing good together.
And doing it with even those who are of other faith traditions, finding their humanity and being able to appreciate them. It sounds like that might be your part of your greatest joy. I don't know, because there's a question that says, what's your greatest joy? And what keeps you up at night seems to also be your joy. I don't know. What would be your greatest joy?
Normally I sleep like a log, nothing,
Okay. So nothing keeps you up at
my
night because
husband
it's
will
settled.
say, oh gosh, she's will sleep sitting down or standing up. But the main thing is, if I have issues sleeping, it's because I'm worried about something.
Okay.
Right? But and then it's me, my ego,
Okay.
that's keeping me up at night.
Okay.
So it's like, how do I resolve that? Surrender it to God, lift it, give it to God.
So your faith is strong.
But my faith is strong.
Okay.
But my ego is always kind of like, come on.
Yeah, sometimes your ego can get bigger.
That's why it's like, it's a necessity for me to stay humble. Because it's like, it's a constant fight, with ego. And ego is always wrong, by the way.
Okay.
Always wrong.
So I've got to keep that ego under control. All right, that makes sense. And your faith keeps you also Christian.
I'm Episcopalian, yes.
Episcopalian, right? Okay. I'm going to say thank you, Simone. And I'm going to say, I pray that you have heard the sharing. iACT is an interfaith organization, and it's more than that. It's people coming together.
People of all faiths.
People of all faiths.
Coming together. Doing good together.
You've heard the programs. You've heard the people it impacts. I'd like to encourage you. It depends on the benevolence of others. It depends on partners in the community. It depends on Simone digging in and finding those grants and those places where funding becomes even more possible and greater. It's a great work. And it's a wonderful opportunity. We talked to Reverend Horton a couple of weeks ago and talked about the benefits of getting to know others and truly understanding those of other faith traditions. As important as that is also the work of iACT. I would like to encourage you to be a partner with iACT and just give so that this tremendous work can continue. How does that work?
Wonderful. And you have a beautiful and generous spirit.
You're kind.
So thank you.
You're kind.
For who you are.
We're going to stop doing sugary and buttery stuff, okay? Thank you. Thank you, Simone, for taking the time out of your busy schedule and sharing with me this evening. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate the work that you do. I appreciate the opportunity I have developed some strong friendships with persons of other faith traditions. I think of Shaquille. Going to have Rabbi Kelly on here soon. Others who are from other faith traditions who are phenomenal individuals. And some of them I couldn't imagine living in a world without them. So thank you for that. And just continue to do what you do and do it with the joy with which you do it. I pray. I'm going to say, any last words for us today?
I would say all the different faith communities and people that we've worked with from all the different cultures and backgrounds, it makes us better people.
Okay.
To work together, to be with each other, to build relationships. We have to break down the walls that divide us.
Awesome.
And we are better together and stronger together.
That's true for iACT. And as she shared those words, I'm going to say that's true for this world that we live in presently. And somewhere, not only with iACT, but in this world that we are living in right now, we've got to begin to tear down the walls, learn how to love each other so that this world becomes a better place. Hope that something has inspired you this evening. And I pray that you will join us in our next episode as we come together to talk about those things perhaps where we see the intersection of faith with politics, with religion, with the church, as we struggle with some of those concerns and ask the question, what's up with that? Until next time, be blessed.